Let's get to it.
YouTube, what is going on? And Mesa Fungul back at it with another episode of Ask Mesa, where you guys ask me questions in the comment section and I try to answer them to the best of my ability behind some sort of random gameplay. And just a quick disclaimer about yesterday's video where I got trolled by Master Raul. Guys, I did buy the Thunderlord. I recorded that video prior to me buying the Thunderlord from Sir. I did annotate it in big bold letters at the start of the video, but then again, I don't know if you watch on mobile, on like iPad or iPhone, if the annotations pop up. So apologies, but I got so many questions as to, dude, you're so stupid, Zer sold it. Yes, I know. I bought 2 of them though. All right, let's get on with this week's questions. Okay, then we got John Hedinger, hope I'm saying that right. What's going to be the best exotics and or types of weapons for Prison of Elders? Well, from exotic perspective, I'm definitely going to be getting my Vex Terrific class up to 365. I love that thing. Crowd control, Zen Moment, and it does solar, and the thing just is a monster. Other weapons, I'm thinking about Hawk Moon, of course. I use that a lot in the Prison of Elders. Thing works wonders. Very, very high damage. I love the amount of rounds. 13 rounds plus 3 of them are going to be lucky, so that's another good one. From a legendary perspective, I'm going to say anything from the past 2 raids in terms of primary weapons because of the elemental damage, i.e. Vision of Confluence, which is solar, Fang of Ryut, Scout Rifle, which is arc. I'm thinking also Abyss Defiant. I still say to this day, man, I use Abyss Defiant a ton in PvE. That's pretty much what I use when I do every rock strike. It's usually that with a sniper rifle, usually Ephrodite Spear or Praetus Revenge, and then my Gallahorn, of course. So any of the elemental weapons I think are going to be very, very useful. Okay, then Joshua Hillary says, are you married? I said, no, I'm not. I do have a serious girlfriend now. I'm going out for about 8 months now. I'll throw her picture on the screen. And we're 2 peas in a pod because she's an RN. She's a nurse and she works the night shift. So our sleep patterns are perfect. So we're up all night and we usually sleep during the daytime. Her sleep cycle is just as screwed up as mine. Then we got Steven Barranco. Hey, Mesa, did you buy a Nepal t-shirt? Of course I did. I hope you guys did too. The shirt looks really cool. It's for a good cause. And of course, you get a shader and an emblem. Alright, now this one's throwing me for a loop here. Giozani, Mesa, if you had one of these 2 exotics, the Vex and the Gallahorn, and were forced to dismantle one, which one would it be and why? It's gonna have to be Gallahorn, guys. And I know that sounds like blasphemy, but I cannot live without the Vex Terrific class. That's why I have like 5 of them. I've got 1 on each character fully leveled up, mainly because of PvP. I mean, right now with the auto rifles, the way they are, it's the only thing I could do really well with because of Zen Moment, crowd control, and if you look at the stats, I mean, I think damage-wise, pretty much outclasses Red Death, it outclasses Suros, and most weapons in general. It recalls a little bit. That's why Zen Moment, what I always say is pepper the enemy a little bit, get like a shot or 2, and then Zen Moment will cause you to get more accurate when you're, then you lay into the trigger on them. So, and for PvE as well, I mean, I can't wait to get that thing up to 365. Gallahorn, I mean, yeah, it's wonderful for ending rock strikes really quickly, or if it's a solar burn type of nightfall, or even weekly for that, but hey, I can't live without the Vex. Okay, Burnsy says, Mesa, what was your old band called? Where can I find your songs? Well, it was called Centrifuge. I know, that was another Mesa film name I came up with. And you can actually find it, I believe it's still out there, on myspace.com/centrifuge. So it's CENTRIFUSE. I'll link it in the description. I named it that band, well, because I wrote all the music, I wrote all the arrangements, and then I taught the drummer the arrangements, and then when I met my singer, he just wrote lyrics and wrote melodies and sang over it. Well, I mean, I showed him some of the melodies that I had, like, written on guitar to sing over, and it was fun for a number of years, but yeah, you can go there if you want to go have a laugh and listen to it. It's kind of like a mix of, I call this interviews because it's like a fusion of kind of like semi-Metallica fanboy stuff, but with also like new wave kind of pop rock type stuff, which is probably one of the reasons why we broke up, because no one in 2014-15 listens to any type of rock music. It's all basically either dance, hip-hop, or whatever. I mean, rock is dead right now, so I don't know. That sucks for me. Then we got Arc Element Ghost. He asks, pancakes, waffles, or French toast? I'm going to go with French toast. Nothing beats French toast. But I actually don't eat any of that stuff. You know, in the morning, I don't know, my stomach just can't handle it. So I just have like a Monster energy drink and have one of those Belvita breakfast bars. But definitely French toast. I love just a big, thick French toast just smothered in all that syrup. So good. We got Obnoxious Dog. He says, how are you not burnt out from Destiny yet? I know House of Wolves is coming out, but how are you still playing? I don't know. I'm a grinder, and I have a great group of friends that I love to play with. See, I think that's a big thing that non-Destiny fans or quote-unquote haters, and I even hate using that word, but people that don't understand how this game is still fun for people like me, is I love raiding every week. Even though I don't need anything anymore, it's fun getting together with Falico and Robert and sometimes Clawman and Ian and Pope Bear, and we just, we have a good time. Even though, yes, we're doing the same thing, and the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. But I mean, now that I have everything, I think it's going to be even more fun when House of Wolves comes out, because beside raiding still, and rumor has it, word on the campfire that is that old raids will drop new exotics, so still more reasons to go back and do the Vault of Gloss and Crota's End. But now we'll have Prison of Elders, so instead of having 6 people, we'll probably break off into 3s, do a couple of Prison of Elders, and then all group up and say, hey guys, okay, let's do Crota and Vault of Glass now. So, and I think that's the main thing people don't understand about this game, is that it kind of forces you to build a community, to make friends, because to do all the end game activity, you pretty much need friends. You need people to play with. And before this game, I've mentioned it before, all I did was play Call of Duty multiplayer, and prior to Destiny, all I was doing was playing Kills on Shadowfall multiplayer. And I was pretty much just running solo every single night playing multiplayer, but I, for some reason, had a really good knack at taking a team of randoms, as long as they had mics, and being able to win against the clan, because Kills on Shadowfall is all about tactics and objectives, and not so much the kill whoring. There's no kill streaks, there's no supers, there's nothing like that. It's just all about tactics and call outs and spawn beacons and using support class with assault classes, and I'm going off on a tangent here, but yeah, alright, I hope that answered your question. Alright, it's probably going to babble through this one, but Dylan McLaughlin says, I don't know if it's a touchy subject for you, but since you live in New York City, Queens, what was your experiences on 9/11? Well, it was a day I'll never forget. I remember waking up, and I was talking with a friend on AOL Instant Messenger, because remember, this is 2001, and then all of a sudden he went blank. I had Howard Stern on in the background, and then he heard that a plane went into one of the buildings. Next thing I know, we're watching the news with my mom. We see the second plane go in, and then at the time, my girlfriend lived in Manhattan, in Midtown. She was on 22nd Street. So, in relation, that's about 30, 40 blocks away from the World Trade Center. But her sister was an NYU student who was living in the dorms right near the World Trade Center. So, all the phones went down. It was just, everyone was crying. It was just, it was something I'll never forget. And being the fact that I live in Queens, most of the firefighters were from Queens who died. So, for months after, I was a pharmaceutical rep. My territory was Queens, and all I would see, like, once a week was funerals, non-stop funerals at these firehouses, because of so many firefighters that were killed there, And I'll never forget the smell. The smell lasted for miles. I remember the day after 9/11, I had to drive my girlfriend and her sister up to New Jersey to get them back with their parents, because they stayed with me for like 2 weeks right after 9/11. I'm sorry, not the day after, but like a week later. I drove up to New Jersey, and I remember going over the George Washington Bridge, which is pretty far from where 9/11 happened, and you smelt it. You smelt this just burning smell, soot, whatever. And then we moved her out of there about a month later after 9/11, and it was still burning. A month later, it was still smoldering down there, because the fires just would not go out. And the downtown Manhattan was just a mess. And then about 2 years later, I moved into Manhattan, actually, for a couple of years, because once 9/11 happened, all the rent prices went down, because everyone was terrified to live in New York City. But now it's back to being overly expensive, so that's why I live in Queens now. So not a touchy subject, and in fact, I'm glad you asked it, though. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like in this video. Only if you see fit. Leave a comment and with a question for next week's episode, and I will try to get to it. And follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream. Links will be in the description. And that's it. You stay beautiful, Guardians.
Heavy ammo on the way. Zone C lost. Heavy ammo available. Ha ha! More efforts like that, and we might just win this.